Fuck it, we'll do it live. Let's go.
Wow! Right out the gate. He doesn't care about nothing, people.
Now it shows that we actually have 0 people watching. We're gone. All right. What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's RDV. If you haven't figured it out by the freaking title right here. But I don't know why I grip myself, because we have the names here. This is, to the right of me, it's Zach.
That's right. Also,
Also,
yes.
yes.
How's it going, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy New Comics Book Day Eve. Hope y'all are all doing well.
Yeah,
I'm doing pretty well.
I am doing wonderful now that I'm not driving on the road anymore with anybody. That drove me nuts.
Yeah. Wait, were you driving with somebody? Like somebody else was in the car?
No, other people on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, I'm a person, I'll easily get road rage, but I'll never yell at the people because I don't want to cause an interaction, because.
Oh yeah, there's videos of people doing that. Like you flip off the wrong person, they'll attack you with a knife.
I don't need that in my life, but I mean, like at the same point, I'm just like, man, if GTA was real, I need cheat codes.
I'm not driving in the city will do that to me, but thankfully I live out in the country now, so there's not.
I live like I'm on the outskirts of a city. I'm in a town next to another town, which group of towns, like a little county. And then you get into the main dragway highway and stuff, and then it's like it gets really, really busy. My problem is that people cut you off, and then they don't even do the speed limit, so you have to slam on your brakes to slow down.
Do they? And I bet you they don't use a turn signal either.
Sometimes they do.
Oh, well, then you're lucky. You should be thankful someone uses their turn signal.
Well, yeah, the problem is they don't turn their turn signal off.
They just let it keep going and going and going. God, that aggravates me.
I went to go get pizza for people. So I drove. But first I want to get Taco Bell for myself because I'm not a big pizza person. So I was getting stuff.
Why do you get Taco Bell? Stop getting Taco Bell.
Because Taco Bell is freaking addicting. You can get the Mountain Dew and everything. So
then just get the Mountain Dew. Don't get the food.
It's still Taco Bell.
Every time you eat it, you're like, I shouldn't have eaten Taco Bell.
No, I don't get that. No, I don't say that. I've never said that.
Well,
no,
everyone I know, everybody.
That's everyone else who it's a fad. It's like hating Nickelback. People say I hate Nickelback, but they also listen to it though.
Here's the thing: I've been eating Taco Bell my entire adult life, and I never have had any issues.
Exactly.
And you know why? Because I get one thing, and I stick with that one thing, and that is just I get several things, but I just get the plain, the plain taco, just the meat, the cheese, and the lettuce. I don't get the fancy burritos. I don't get the chalupas. Just stick with the regular basic.
I will say this: I do fancy. I get the steak chalupas, Supremes.
Don't do it.
But
I got a quesadilla one time and it was undercooked, and so I did get.
I don't have the issue. The only as I said that there's 2 locations. I stopped going to the other location because they were messing up everybody's order, and then they locked their lobby door, so you couldn't come in. You had to go wait.
Oh yeah.
They wanted you to wait in line behind 14 other cars. So I said screw that place, and I go to the other one. It's further out of my way. It's like 10-15 minutes on my way versus it was 5 minutes. But I know I always get the best service there. The other good thing there is they have Mod Pizza. They have all these different places around there too you can go to if I want to not go to that Taco Bell.
Pizza?
Made on demand.
Pizza?
You go in there. It's like a pizza buffet. You walk in there.
Personal pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have 4 or 5 of those.
You go into this place and like it's a pizza bar basically. Like you tell them what they want. They grab the toppings. It's like a taco bar.
Yeah.
And they build the pizza for you, and then they put it in the oven, and there you go.
We have that. We call it lit pizza.
Theirs is called Mod Pizza. That's called MOD.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Mariko Tamaki has never left. She will be here forever. That being said, but anyway, getting off the food subject, my point of my story was I went there at these blue places, and I had to deal with other people in the traffic, so then I had to get gas in my car. So I'm like, okay, I get the gas pay for it, no receipt comes out. I gotta go wait in line to get that receipt because I wanted to get the car wash code off of there. Otherwise, I don't care about the receipt.
I was going to say, why?
So then I get in there, they give me a receipt, I go in there, I'm waiting behind the person. There's only one of the 2 lanes for the car wash are open. The other one is out of order. I'm on the right side. And then the person in front of me goes in, and then it stalls. The car wash thing goes out of order. I'm stuck. I can't back up because there's 2 people behind me. I can't go forward. You know what's funny though? on the way there, I was thinking. I was laughing because
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know I'm ignoring the old man. I'm amazed he's alive with the PC problems he's having.
Didn't he get a new one? I thought he said he got a new one.
He was going this week, but
he might have gotten one already. Yeah.
The one thing that makes this hilarious all the way through is that they had Sammy Hagar, "I Can't Drive 55" on the radio.
I'm not familiar with that song.
1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas. So the whole song's about him stuck being traffic. What used to take 2 hours now it takes all day. 16 hours till LA. You've never heard the song. Wow.
Not familiar with the song.
Also, I want to say hello to Jughead and Marania, Undead Quinn, and I think that's it. I don't. Tehillim. Oh yeah, Tehillim's here. Yeah.
Tehillim's here, dumping his whole list right there at the first go. So I'll keep.
He's a guy that likes to shoot early. Okay.
He likes to shoot early.
Get it done with. I'm next. I'm going to watch TV now. Congratulations, Jughead said he won an RV. Were you at the auction by the cop shop where they're giving you the impounded cars?
I didn't realize that E was bidding off panelists now.
E? I don't know.
Yeah, he said he won you at an auction.
No, RV.
Oh, I thought he said RDV.
Read the comments.
Oh. I gotta keep it centered on Tehillim so that we can come back to it at the end of the thing.
Right
oh, that's cool.
If you won me in an auction, I was saying you didn't win anything.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Hey, what's going on? Middle of story time. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, hey Edwin, how's it going?
Oh, it's Edwin. Okay.
Yeah.
Did not know that. It's a good thing you're here. I just think, hey, it's a new person.
Yeah. If I'm not streaming over here with the puppets, I'm usually watching the story times.
Well, now it makes sense because he says aloha. The only 2 people I know say aloha are him and
Then Bianca?
No, it's Manny.
Yeah.
Manny.
Oh, okay. I thought
the
it was
Dog
Bianca
Press.
for some reason.
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe Bianca does too. I don't know. I haven't
don't
seen
know.
it. What's on one of all these? All right, so you might as well just share my screen. Yeah, we're talking about the books that come out this week. These are new comic books, taken the grain of salt that we try to find the ones that are legitimately the best ones we've been enjoying. And lately, Marvel has really been shitting the bucket on that. When it comes to DC, though, DC, I think, has been doing the better job for the past couple of years.
Year. Not the past couple, maybe 1 year.
Jughead's angry now because you said
I don't know, Jughead. That's why I was asking. I was like, why would you want that?
Right. All right. So, what we do here is we base the top 5. It's actually a top 10 because you're getting my 5 picks plus Zach's 5 picks.
You're probably getting a top 7.
And then people in the chat, if you want to, let us know what books that's coming up this week that you might be excited in getting. All right. So I think I went first last week. So let's let you go first this week.
Sure. Okay.
Number 5.
My number 5. I have just 5 books this week. I'm sticking to my comic book budget. So coming in at number 5, we have one that I know is.
So you're getting one book then, because they're $6 a piece now.
No, actually, most of mine are at $3.99. There's one exception, but we'll. So
you're holding the line at $3.99, and then you're stopping.
Holding the line, yeah, exactly. My number 5 book this week is Unstoppable Doom Patrol number 3. I skipped number 2. I did not read number 2, but now I saw this cover and it got me interested, so I might jump back into it. It is a limited series. What a surprise, DC.
Who is writing this? This is Dennis Culver.
This is Dennis Culver, and Chris Burnham does the art. His art style is actually pretty cool. It's kind of like, I kind of get a tiny bit of Daniel Warren Johnson vibes from it. Tiny bit. But yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. So this issue, the big thing that draws me to it is that it has the Green Lanterns. It has Guy and Kyle in the story.
And this is also another example of what we like about books, when you have the cover artist actually do the interior art as well.
That's true. Well, I mean, there were variant covers.
So now I just got worried about his writing.
His writing. So the first issue, the writing was not terrible.
Yeah.
I actually liked it. They do have more of an X-Men vibe. So the whole idea is the Doom Patrol. Now they're going out and they're trying to find and recruit / save actual metahumans.
Yeah.
Not like Superman or Green Lantern or Wonder Woman, who are gods or aliens or have technology or whatever, but like actual metahumans. So they did that in the first issue. They ended up recruiting like this muscle guy, he was almost like a Hulk guy. That matter he got, the bigger he got. But he writes. You have pretty much a lot of the characters from the show. You have Robot Man, you have Elastigirl, you have Negative Man.
They seem to be keeping with the humor of the show. That's what it looks like. Because having him holding a soft drink for Negative Man.
There was some. Oh yeah, on the cover.
Because he does it in the show too. You always see him drinking.
Yeah. I haven't actually seen that. I think I watched half of the first season, and then
really. Oh.
Yeah. I like Brendan Fraser's Robot Man. I thought he was really, really good. He's definitely the highlight.
Brendan Fraser just does the voice. That's the good thing about that.
He's not in the suit.
He's not in the suit. He's a different actor. It's a stuntman.
Oh, that's disappointing, actually.
But not really, because it still works for me. I knew that going in. Crazy Jane is great. I love the different personalities.
So Crazy Jane is actually what's the leader guy's name? Is it the professor or
Neil Calder?
Neil Calder. So Crazy
Niles.
Jane actually has Niles Calder. That's one of her personalities now. So she'll actually switch and become his personality, and then at times, and then she'll switch into another.
Is Niles not alive in this?
I guess he's not. They haven't shown him. I have no knowledge of Doom Patrol lore at all.
So this isn't like based off the show, right? Like Titans, they did that for a while. They had like a Titans comic book.
No, there's members here that I don't believe are in the show. Like they have this new girl called Beast Girl. She's like a kind of like an empath.
Oh yeah. Okay. I remember thinking about her.
Yeah, but the first issue was interesting. I enjoyed it. So the art was really good. Kind of had like a nice energy to it. Skipped over number 2 because at the time I was like, it's a mini series. I'm not going to dig into it. But then I saw this. I saw Guy and Kyle on the cover, Green Lantern Corps, and even though it is a mini series, I thought it might be worth just revisiting, seeing how it is. The plot is pretty straight. It seems like a one and done story. They're going to save this new metahuman who has unwittingly become this fugitive from the Green Lantern Corps. So naturally, Guy and Kyle, they're going to step in, and it's kind of like a race to see who gets to the metahuman first. So,
yeah, and I love how it says Cliff still might be the best driver in the DCU because he was a
race car driver.
Yeah. So I'm just laughing. That car must have really good shocks because how heavy he is in the show. Maybe that's why the car's leaning on the side because he's that heavy.
I think the whole picture is just tilted that way.
You see, it's just sparking all the way down because of how heavy he is.
But like I said, I'm just checking it out. Did not know until now that it was a limited.
Yeah, in the show they actually have a short bus.
Mm-hmm. They do. I remember that. But yeah, so this is coming in at my number 5, Unstoppable Doom Patrol.
It only has 3 other covers. It has the Dennis Culver foil variant. So if you want this Cliff, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's all right. That's pretty cool.
And then there's the One Punch.
Mikel Janin. Oh, the One Punch. I like that. That's pretty cool.
And then there's the Alan Qua.
Not super familiar with this artist. It looks nice though.
It looks like a diner scene, and they're all looking out. Yeah, or college, or library. I'm not sure what it is, but
some building.
It just blows my mind when I look at that show. It's like who the actors are. Matt Bomer is there, but he's the voice again. Under the regs is somebody else.
So it's not really him wearing all the wraps either.
When they show him the flashbacks, it's made to show Matt Bomer without before they act before
such a lie. I thought these actors were actually in the suits. I'm just so lied to.
Honestly, sometimes that's better if you can actually, because these are stuntmen and stunt women that can actually do their own work, So the only ones that are really in the show as it is Rita is the girl who was in Two and a Half Men. She was, I think, she was Charlie's girlfriend.
Rita, Elastigirl was in Two and a Half Men.
The actress, she was in Two and a Half Men.
I did not know that.
Came
I
on
never
there.
saw
She
Two
was
and
a
Half Men.
blonde. Yeah, the original one, the good version of Charlie Sheen. Ashton Kutcher.
I didn't watch any of the versions. Hey, Ashton Kutcher's a cool guy.
When you try to replace Charlie's character,
Charlie Sheen is not a very good character in a lot of his movies.
But he was great in Hot Shots. What are you talking about?
He
was great.
He played the musketeer who was the priest, but was also sleeping with other women.
What's wrong with that?
He's a douchey priest.
He did it just to get women, okay?
Okay, sure.
Yes. Now in real life, he's probably a douche. Yes.
Probably. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. But. All right. So let's go to my number 5.
Okay.
Mine actually is based off a TV show. It's a continuation. If you've ever seen this show, let me scroll down because it's that far down for some reason. Where is it? There it is. The Expanse, Dragon Tooth, number 2. This is a continuation of the show, so there was a lot of spoilers in this. If you have not watched the show that was continued on Amazon Prime, you're in for spoilers. I know some of you are like, well, Andy Diggle, I don't really care for Andy Diggle. Honestly, this show, his writing is kept along with the characters in character. It's just as exciting as watching the show. And the great thing about it is I'm a huge fan of the show, so when I read this, I read the characters in the actors act their own voices in my head, you know. Yes, I do hear voices. It's okay. Only when I read, though. Just like you read Batman, and you hear Kevin Conroy's voice when you're reading.
It depends. Sometimes I imagine Christian Bale's Batman voice.
How do you know what he's saying then?
Exactly.
That's...
No. If he's ever yelling Rachel Dawes' name, that's the only voice. Rachel.
I just think of like when I hear Christian Bale's Batman, it's Scooby Doo's Batman. You can't understand anything he's saying. But no, I've really been enjoying this book. I mean, I'm not a huge Andy Diggle fan. I haven't really read much stuff, but I know he wrote some Green Arrow back in the day.
Yeah.
But this really continues the show. You get a new plot. Possibly you're gonna get a new villain. And like I said, every character that was on the show is in this, except for one. But other than that, though, it's been fun. I just do my own Batman voice. Yeah. Does it come out?
He does do a lot of good voices. I have to say, I think Edwin would do a really good Batman voice.
When I think of Edwin doing a Sam, he's basically doing a Sam Elliott Batman. When I think of it, if Sam Elliott was ever,
I would want to hear Sam Elliott's Batman.
I just want to hear
or his Alfred. Sam Elliott.
Why can't we get Edwin just to read some Ghost Rider?
Well, Sam Elliott was in Ghost Rider.
Yes, yeah, the Western one. So. Anyway, it's $4.99 and this is through Boom Studios.
Cool.
I'm sure after it hasn't gone through Dark Horse. Dark Horse usually picks up TV shows like Buffy and all that stuff.
No, Boom Studios. They're doing the Firefly, or they were doing Firefly.
Well, yeah. They're basically they're taking the comic books or their TV show IPs that would have been going to Dark Horse.
Right.
I noticed that.
I think Dark Horse, they did do a Witcher one, but I think that was before the Netflix show.
Right.
So.
All right, let's get to your number 4.
Well, do we want to go through the chats? Number 5s?
Yeah, if you want to do that. I don't have it pulled up.
I do. Tahilim's number 5 is Nightwing. The new Nightwing, 104, which you're a better man than I am, Tahilim.
Why is Wally alive on that cover?
Because I'm not convinced that Wally is dead. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I don't think Tom Taylor may be ignorant, but I don't think he's that dumb. I don't see any other number 5. So okay, so we'll just go into number 4. My list tonight there's two categories. There's DC and then there's Mark Miller. And so number 4 is my first Mark Miller book of the evening. We're going to Nightclub, number 5. This is the second to last issue. I believe it's the second to last. I think it's only supposed to be going for 6 issues.
The next one is the All Out War one.
Yeah, which is a bummer. I was really upset to hear this isn't going to be ongoing. No, but this has been a really cool little series. I'm kind of overdosing on Mark Miller books. I'm just now discovering how cool they are. Nightclub has been one of my favorite ones, actually. I think probably one of my top 3 Mark Miller books so far.
It's only $1.99 too.
Exactly. This is the one book on my list that's under $4. It's crazy. Yeah, it's like $2, and the art, Juan and Ramirez's art is really, really good. I've been enjoying that a lot. Yeah, I just think it's a phenomenal book. The story is you have these 3 teenagers. It kind of starts off a little Spider-Man-esque, like they get all the powers of vampires. They try to get popularity. They try to become like these little mini celebrities, but then they actually do step up and they become like superheroes. They do these heroic deeds. And then at the end of issue number 4 is when the guy who gave Danny, the main guy, our main hero,
saved him, give him turned him.
The guy, he saves his life by biting him and giving him vampire powers. Well, that guy who gave him the powers showed up at the end of the last issue. We've also been seeing separately the villain vampire gang. And so it looks like in this issue, we're going to find out more about them. Possibly things will lead to a confrontation. I think things probably will. I mean, there's 1 issue to go, so I'm sure we'll get some kind of confrontation, either this issue or the next one. But
yeah, I guess
it is fantastic. I really like it. And this one especially sounds like there's going to be a lot of conflict because, like, you read the synopsis, and
they're supposed to get up. Yeah.
I think the guy that gave him his powers, because he was a police detective, right, or something.
Well, he says he was. He was building a team that the battle these.
Yeah, but I think that he's going to turn out to be a bad guy because it sounds like he's connected to that gang that attacked that family.
Well, we know.
We saw a few issues ago.
We know, but from the last issue, he was in there.
Oh, was he?
That's not of the family. He was in there. He's the one that found the little girl.
So now it looks like he's going to be like pressuring the 3 heroes to join his side. Or else, there's going to be some kind of ultimatum, like it says right there. Their families are going to be slaughtered.
Yeah,
I'm really curious to see how this gets all wrapped up.
Well, it sounds like every other vampire thing. There's a hierarchy, and you have to submit to it before it. You can't, and them going around using their powers is bringing too much attention to vampires. So.
Yeah, and there's all these, like, every time I read this, I rediscover like all the different vampire powers or weaknesses that they have. Like, I forgot for years that vampires couldn't cross running water. So like,
running water
bridges. I was like, that's crazy. I forgot about that. So
yeah.
Every time I read through, it's like, okay, there's some pretty cool pros.
That's why their coffins, would have to, like Dracula or whatever. It was also in the movies. You'd have to like put it onto a boat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, because that's the one thing that was Bree and I, we read Vampire's Carmilla, which is basically the old vampire books, Vampirella books by Warrant. There was a girl who was turned into a vampire, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hop." She hops in the shower, and the running water just kills her.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
It was so
crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely crazy.
So it's nice to see some limits on some of the characters, because otherwise we see stuff like the WB version of Vampires or Twilight, and like they're just like there's nothing can stop them. They have no weaknesses. It's like maybe the sun, but not even the Twilight. The Twilight, they didn't die in the sun.
Well, in Twilight they were in Seattle or in like Washington State, so it's all foggy and misty, and there's all this overcast.
That's why they live there. If that's the case, go live in London.
Well, yeah, same thing in London. The sun didn't shine over there.
All right, so that's your number 4. All right, go to my number 4. Where is it now? Let's scroll down.
It's Hellcat, isn't it?
oh, that's my number 1, bro. No, Mine is actually 007 for King Country, which is a continuation of Philip Kennedy Johnson's base, James Bond.
Very cool.
James Bond in this series is a continuation. The first series, 003, was his mentor, also his lover too, older woman, and she ends up basically learning that she was killed, and then and then you also learn later on that she was involved with this other secret kind of like Spectre organization that basically wanted to control all the information in the world, and so Bond is basically forced to go rogue in order because he learned that they also infiltrated MI6. He has to go basically try to save this person they're going to kill while also exposing them to the rest of the world. This secret organization. At the end, he finds out that MI3 is alive. She saves him. So now they're basically trying to basically continue. It's continuation of that story. As it says here, it basically was branded as traitors. 007, 003 rushed to clear their names to stop the wanton destruction of the mysterious Myrmidon. But on Heart of the Hills is a new 002 agent with a few morals and a license to kill. Literally, this sounds like a better movie than the Daniel Craig one we got.
Wait, which
the last one?
I like
the last
one.
one.
The Daniel Craig ones.
The very last one. The last with the nanobots, they can control anybody they want to kill.
I didn't mind. I thought that one had some cool stuff. The scenes where he was in Cuba were really cool, I thought.
I do not read Nightwing. If I read Nightwing, it's a Chuck Dixon Nightwing. With the bad art, I'd say.
I did read some of the recent Nightwing issues. They actually weren't terrible, but that's because they involved the Titans, so it's like a team book instead of just a solo book. It's weird. Tom Taylor can write teams really well, but when he does the solo heroes, that's where he...
The only thing that's missing right now from the James Bond stuff, like...
Do they have Q?
Where's the video games?
Wait, what do you mean?
Why don't we have the James Bond video games?
I don't know. They're not going to make a video game about a straight white man womanizing. And
they have before.
Not now, though. They don't do that now.
That might have been 10 years ago, but still.
The last good one was on the N64.
GoldenEye?
Yeah. Well, they did remaster it for the Switch a year or two ago.
Yeah. They also did another one, too. I can't remember what it's called, but it was basically another...
Was it Pierce Brosnan Bond? Or was it Daniel Craig?
Might have been Daniel Craig.
They did a video game with Daniel Craig. Oh, interesting.
I think so. Anyway, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, it's my number 4. You want to read off Tehillim's number 4?
Tehillim's number 4 is a book that I started and I fell out of because even though it's written by Peter J. Tomasi, the art was not up to Tomasi storytelling standards, in my opinion.
Is it Blood Tree?
It is Blood Tree number 3. Give that fake Dr. Venkman a prize.
I have to finish reading that.
I do want to go back. I do want to finish it. I do like a good murder mystery.
It's only on issue 3 now? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it a 3-issue? It's a mini-series. It's like
when did issue 2 come out? Because it feels like it's been a while.
Ago? It was a couple of weeks ago. I saw it on the stands.
Jughead was never a 007 fan. I feel sorry for you, man.
I didn't until I saw the Brosnan movies. And then I went back and I watched the Sean Connerys.
Sean Connery, man, were awesome.
Brosnan is still my favorite, but I appreciate the greatness of the Sean Connerys.
Pierce Brosnan was a combination of Roger Moore and Sean Connery.
Kinda.
With a little bit of Tony Dalton.
His were also a little bit more cartoony. Like every time the car had like rocket launch, like it looked like a Batmobile.
You're thinking of
Die Another Day.
Die Another Day on the ice.
I love Die Another Day though. That's one of my favorite Bond films.
Of course, that's Halle Berry, and that's why.
Well, that's one reason why. No, there's like the fight scene where he and the bad guy, they're like sword fighting through this hall, and they're using like all the different kinds of swords. I thought that was
they were in like what country they were in, but they had like it was an ice hotel, and it starts melting, and he drives a car through it.
I remember that the ice hotel I thought was really cool. But yeah, so Tehillim, that's his number. I do appreciate a good murder mystery. So,
see, Ash, I didn't get that. The Subvert being the replacement. They actually offered him the role back.
They did, yeah. I thought that story it was blown out of proportion.
But
Honestly.
Bond didn't want it. He was retired. He was happy. He was in love with a woman who had a child with somebody else,
Yeah.
and
Like I said,
he thought it was his son.
look, like I said, I liked it up until
Yeah.
when Anna de Armas leaves the screen. Once she leaves, I can take her leave the movie. The Anna de Armas scene was really great though. All right, we're gonna move on though, past all the 007 talk, and we're gonna go on to the number 3. We're halfway through the list. And actually, it's really funny.
Have a good night, Edwin. Take care, man. Thanks for showing up.
League of Comic Geeks on my pull list, it lined them up in order, so I just have to read right down the list. It's really crazy how that worked out. My number 3 this week is Justice Society of America. Number 4, one of my favorite modern comic writers, Geoff Johns, writing this. Of course, we've got all these different. Well, no, it looks like Jerry Ordway and Mikel Janin are the only 2 artists. I think the last issue they had a few different ones, but I do like this cover a lot. The Mikel Janin art. I gotta say, Alan Scott with the beard, I was kind of at first, but now I'm getting used to it.
He looks too manly.
I think he needs to look a little extra.
Maybe he's no longer the beta in the relationship now.
I think he needs to look a little. He could stand to look a little more manly. He wears he's got the purple mask and the purple cape. He could do a little bit more manliness. But anyway, this book, long overdue. DC has screwed the pooch on the delivery dates and the shipping for the Justice Society. I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just incompetence. But yes, we are finally getting number 4. Geoff Johns has done, so far, I think he's been doing a really cool story here. He's trying to get Helena onto, I think the end result is going to be Helena is going to be in this new DC continuity, and she's going to end up joining the Justice Society. I think that's what the end goal is going to be here. I'm not entirely sure, but I've been liking it. Per Degaton has been revealed to be like the first big bad of this new series, and I really like Per Degaton. I think he's one of the more interesting Justice Society villains.
He was,
yeah, he's always going back in time to screw with them and stop them from forming or killing them before they were born, whatever. So yeah, he's a really cool bad guy. I like him a lot as a villain.
I gotta ask, have you been getting the connecting covers?
I have not been, because every time I see the variant cover, I never connect the dots that they're connecting covers until it's too
So
late.
I just found out this issue there's a connecting variant going all the way to the issue 1, and it showed it as
it's Yannick Paquette's covers, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of tempted to go back and get them because it's one giant poster going this way.
Mm-hmm.
You line them up.
I know that every now and then they'll have like these long form posters that'll be like all the covers connected.
Because then you can put them on the wall behind you.
Where? With what space? I have the Alex Ross. Look, Yannick Paquette is a great artist and all, but he's not going to replace Alex Ross.
No one can see the Alex Ross anyway.
No one can see if I have this. They're just gonna be like, "What's that long, skinny landscape poster behind you?"
Now, Power Girl is actually looking pretty sweet though. Ash, I'm sorry she's not up to your standards.
I like the Power Girl. The Power Girl is nice. I actually kind of like the jacket a little bit more than the cape.
The jacket is a little weird,
It's the same color scheme.
It's the same costume, same figure she's always had.
Yeah. I honestly, the one costume that I don't like, I wouldn't say it's cringe. It's just personal preference. I'm not a huge fan of the Huntress one though. I think
the Huntress outfit is really, that's the most cringes I've seen. I prefer the New 52 World's Finest one.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
This just looks too plain Jane.
I wouldn't even say that it's plain Jane.
It looks Silver Age. Actually, that's probably the most part what I like about it. It looks Silver Age.
I think it's the Scarlet Witch head crest thing.
Well, that's the thing. She's supposed to be from the future, but she's wearing like a Silver Age outfit.
If that's the case, I don't have an issue with that. It's just I don't know. Like I said, it's not. I don't think it's cringe or that ruins anything. I just don't personally. It's personal preference.
That's pretty much what a lot of people want to see.
That's why your name is Jughead. But I'm sorry, Jughead. I didn't.
I thought it's because he likes burgers.
But I Ash does not get the character of Power Girl.
What, you're trying to say she looks like a man?
Yeah.
What?
What? You know what? I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Ash doesn't read DC. He doesn't know about Titans or Justice Society. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on here.
Oh, Eric, don't give him the pity likes.
Hey, wait. Are you talking about me or Ash?
No, he's
with Ash on one and with me on the Huntress. So
she looks like a pissed off Karen.
Well, her name is Karen.
Exactly.
I don't care what they try to say. Her name is not Paige. It's Karen. That is her real alter ego.
She just doesn't have any support. Okay, that's what the boobs are kind of sagging. Okay.
That's sagging. She's in motion.
That too.
So anyway, though, I really like. It's not that you don't read the book, Ash. It's that I don't think you know the character super well, and so if you understood the character, maybe that might help you.
Honestly, he can dislike as much as he wants. It doesn't bother me because I actually do like it. I'm gonna be reading. I'm gonna be buying it. Yeah. So that's what matters to me the most.
I just wish that DC would just step it up and get this being a more regular monthly book. It's because what was number 3? It was like it's been 3 months, I think.
She looks a lot better than the one they did for Action Comics. Interior art.
Issue number 3 came out in March, and we're in May, so it's been like 2 months. So they need to bump this up and make it a monthly book. So honestly, I will agree partially with Eric. I wish they had got Dale Eaglesham back, because Dale Eaglesham on that run he did with Jeff Johns is dynamite. He that is one of the best drawn comic runs I have ever read. So I wish they brought him back. Jerry Ordway, I know you like him. He's all right. He's not my personal favorite, but I would love for them to have got Dale Eaglesham back instead of Michael J. Like even Brian Hitch, when it was first announced that Brian Hitch and Jeff Johns were doing it, even Brian Hitch, I was kind of like,
I'm just glad this is a full Jerry Ordway book. Michael Janet's only doing the cover art.
You sure?
Yes.
It says artist and cover artist.
Well, he's also known as an artist, but it's Jerry Ordway doing the art.
All right. Well, I know that in the past they do like different time eras have different artists.
It might be that.
It might be
that.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then if you're getting flashbacks of, it's going to probably be Jerry Ordway because Jerry Ordway is awesome.
Probably.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I would think past tense would be Jerry Ordway. Present would be
Chuckhead.
Anyway, so this is my halfway point. This is number 3.
Yeah.
They are both doing the art, Breen, because Jerry Ordway is listed as an artist. Ordway. Oddway. Did I say Oddway? Jerry Ordway. Oogway. Master Oogway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 3.
And ironically, it's also my number 3.
Hey, how about that?
I've been looking forward to this. I mean, actually, there's not that much as far as Justice Society been released lately. So I'll take Jeff Johns and hell, dude, Jerry Ordway on a book together. To me, that's awesome. Would I like to have Dan Mora with Jeff Johns? Hell yeah, I would. But Jerry Ordway, I've been loving his art, man. I think he's just as great as an artist as he was back in the day drawing Superman. And these characters feel like the Jeff Johns characters. There's no modernizing them. They feel awesome. Or you read them. It's just they look good in the interior art.
Mm-hmm.
I said the only thing that's I critique about it is the fact that, well, I don't like Huntress's mask. I prefer the updated New 52 version.
Well, isn't that Bertinelli, the Bat Family one, or the Birds of Prey Huntress?
What's that? Bertinelli?
New 52, isn't that Bertinelli?
No, it's actually Lena Wayne coming over, and she took.
You're talking about. Oh, no. Okay, you're talking about the Earth 2. Okay.
Earth 2, yes, coming over, and the World's Finest, yeah, and she took.
I think
she took on Elena Bertinelli's basically life, identity, and created her own costume. Like you said, that was probably the best that the Huntress has ever looked.
I know.
Although I do like the Lena Bertinelli when
Rebirth. Bertinelli was cool. I thought.
Though not I'm talking about Rebirth. I'm talking about post crisis. When they replaced Lena Wayne with the other Huntress going through the 90s with Chuck Dix and everything. I did like that costume. I didn't like it though when she put on the Batgirl costume in No Man's Land. That's kind of weird. But
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah,
I liked her Rebirth costume. She had like a domino mask, and then she had a hood that went over. I like that. I thought that was actually a pretty cool look. But
like I said, Helena Wayne getting to interact with Damian Wayne and this Spacey Kara this Spacey Karen picks up Damian and throws him into the dumpster and closes it. Just kind of.
I'm just waiting. So if they do bring Helena Wayne over into the main continuity, are they going to have her and then Bert and Ellie cross paths and then have a mini series where they're like together on a mountain called Mount St. Helena?
That sounds like something you'd see in a Crisis event, and I'm done with Crisis.
What are you talking about? You just said you love post-Crisis.
Post-Crisis, after the Crisis. That's the first
okay.
one. We only allow one Crisis.
One at a time.
This one. That's all we need was one, and it reset everything.
I liked Infinite Crisis. I thought Infinite Crisis was good.
Isn't that the first one?
No. Infinite Crisis was the one in like the early 2000s that jumped through. One where Superboy died.
Yeah, I didn't read that one.
Dude, you should read it.
I read the one before that.
You should read. You should read Infinite Crisis.
There's just too many Crisis. Infinite sounds too much.
No, it's good. It's really, really good.
Which led to Final Crisis, bringing back Barry.
We don't talk about Final Crisis. Grant Morrison. Oh boy. Yeah. I got Final Crisis because I loved Infinite Crisis.
We don't need another Crisis, probably. Ash just trolling there. You're not even buying the books. What do you need a Crisis for? You need a Brewbreaker Crisis event. That's what you need with all the characters. And resetting all of them.
No, I think Mark Miller will need a Crisis well before then. He's doing like the big world.
Yeah, Millerverse is going to be the Crisis event for your indies.
That's going to be a Crisis that I want to read though. So anyway, Zach is right for the second time tonight. Wait, are you talking about Infinite Crisis, Breen? Is that what you're referring to? My love for Infinite
Maybe.
Crisis?
I don't know.
Okay.
No idea.
Anyway, Tehillim, his number 3 book this week.
DC hasn't ruined their line. There's still a lot of good books over at DC.
They have a lot better books coming out now than they did last year. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Tehillim's number 3 is City Boy, issue number 2. Is that the DC one? I think City Boy is.
City Boy is the DC one where the kid basically he has
like that radar sense that he can locate things.
Yeah, he's almost like Kitty Pryde. He can phase through things.
He's like a mixture of Kitty Pryde and Daredevil.
Yeah.
It's like a sonar. He can find things. Okay, cool. Well, you have to let me know. I need to see. I need to look into that because I read like the little intro to it.
Let's go to your number 2. I'm assuming it's Green Arrow.
You are correct. It is Green Arrow.
Because I know what your number 1 is.
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah. So Green Arrow number 2, guys. Joshua Williamson hit it out of the park. I thought with the first issue of Green Arrow, I thought he did a really good job. Sean Isaac's art is also really good. Josh, he brought, Roy Harper and his daughter Leanne back together, which was really cool. And then, of course, he separates them.
Yep.
So now we have Oliver Queen. He's with Leanne in this mystery location. He's got like the super futuristic kind of armor looking on him. But this is a fantastic looking book. Issue number 2 looks like it'll be just as good. I like that they have Roy and Connor and Dinah all together. I do wish that they let Roy be with the Titans as well, but I mean, if they're following continuity, I guess it kind of makes sense that he's with the Arrow group instead of the Titans. Because otherwise, you have like this Marvel deal where Thor is both in outer space in his own book, but he's at Earth with the Avengers in another book. So, props to them for having everybody in one place at a time. Yeah, this book is fantastic. The coloring is great. The art is great. The storytelling is so far great. Williamson is one of my favorite writers at DC right now. I strongly encourage this book. I support it. Everybody needs to go get a copy so that we can get more than just the 6 issues that they're currently confirmed to be doing. Sean Isaac has said if there's a big enough demand for it, that it could get extended, just like we saw happen with several other DC books. Like Swamp Thing, or I think Poison Ivy went through the same thing. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. It's fun. It's got heart. Oliver Queen is written well enough. He's written well enough. Here's what I mean. He is politically, the character has always been on the left, and yet he's one of my favorite DC characters just because he's not written.
He's normal left.
He's normal left. He's not crazy AOC left. And yeah, he's written in a way that's made him one of my favorite characters for years.
You're not going to see Elizabeth Warren or Nancy Pelosi in this book.
Yeah. So, he's not, if you're afraid that, Lefty Ollie's going to be preaching at me. He didn't in the first issue. I see no reason why he would in this. I don't think Joshua Williamson is writing characters.
Well,
or writing
there was one line. No one escapes from the Manhunters.
Yeah, but see, that's not obnoxious, though. That's not preaching at the Manhunter to use the right pronouns. So,
that's a Brain side. Get up to rip out the last page of the Green Arrow.
Brain really does not like Peacemaker.
I gotta say, though, this is my number 2 as well.
Oh, okay.
I was impressed by the first issue. I want to see what Joshua Williams is going to do with this character. It's been a while since we've actually had a Green Arrow ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last one anybody talks about was a Kevin Smith one.
That's the last one that I read. I did read some of the New 52 one was kind of weird. The Rebirth one was better, but the Kevin Smith and Phil Hester run is the last good run of Green Arrow.
You got Roy in here too. Roy was reunited with his daughter, Leon. That was cool. But now Leon's been trapped in the future with Oliver Queen. And now I don't care for the villain name. His name is called Troublemaker.
Oh yeah, the new villain. That's right. Yeah.
I was like, they're really running out of ideas. Ghostmaker, Troublemaker, Childminder. It's like what's going on?
We'll see. Look, I like Green Arrow's Rogues Gallery. He's got an interesting Rogues Gallery. He does kind of need some new blood, though.
I do love the tech he's wearing, on it, because he's using future tech.
Mm-hmm.
When's the action figure coming out?
Oh, really? Look, McFarlane Toys drops one of these, I will shell out the money at some point.
Canary is in love with him. She's not dating some other guy. It's
the two of them have one of the most solid relationships at DC right now. Like there's Superman and Lois, and then there's Ollie and Diana, in my opinion.
The only way I can see these characters being ruined is if you let Tini Howard do a Birds of Prey.
Why would you? Why do you put these thoughts out there in the ether?
They're already there. You think they haven't already? Tini Howard's be like, you know what? I want to go write this.
No. We're not going to think about evil, bad, horrible things. We're going to talk about good things right now. Everybody check out Green Arrow. Dawn in DC, Joshua Williamson. He's doing really good.
All right. Count on to your number 1.
Well, first of all, Tehillim's number 2 is a book called Supermassive, which I have no idea what that is.
Supermassive was, I just saw that.
Green, you are correct. Right, Wally and Linda are also stable.
So Supermassive is Radiant Black Power Rangers.
Oh, is it all the different Radiant characters? I know there's Black.
It looks
there's
like
Radiant Pink. I think there's a Radiant Red too. Okay, well, glad they finally decided. Well, yeah, there's Radiant Pink right there. All right, though. Counting down. Also, Undead Quinn. He might only be getting 2 books this week. His number 2 is Nightclub. Number 5.
Number 5. Yep.
All right. So going down my list, my number 5 book is Unstoppable Doom Patrol, number 3. Mainly checking it out because the Green Lanterns are in it. Number 4 is Nightclub, number 5. My number 3 is Justice Society of America, number 4. My number 2 is Green Arrow, number 2, which everyone should check out. And my number 1 book is Nightwing 104. I'm just kidding. I had you going there. It's Ambassadors number 5.
It's not Action Comics? Wow.
No, I dropped Action Comics.
Wow.
I told you I dropped it.
Australian Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, buddy. This one, okay, I like Australia a lot. Hate their politics. Love everything else about them. First of all, Ambassadors has been a blast to read. I've liked every issue. The first issue, kind of a slow start, but then once you get into like 2, 3, and 4, it picks up and it just goes. So I've enjoyed all of those different issues, getting to know all the different heroes. This one I really like the premise of. I think it's a really cool premise. It's an Australian politician. I think he's an ambassador, and he somehow, it looks like he's going to be picked to be the hero representing Australia. And he does look like a tough guy. I like how on the cover they have like all the Australian wildlife, like koalas and crocodiles and stuff. Like, I'm curious, like, is the guy gonna fight a crocodile, or is it just there as window dressing? I don't know. I really want to see somebody fight a crocodile now, though. But yeah, Ambassadors has been a blast. I really hope that this is one of the series that Mark Miller ends up doing like several different volumes of. I feel like he would. I don't think he would just go through a story just giving you like one issue of a certain character and then like they all team up at the end and like in one issue and that's it. I feel like he's got to have more to the story coming down the line. But yeah, this one looks good. This artist I'm not super familiar with. Like in past issues, he's had like Carl Kessel, Olivier Cabell. He's had some other good artists. He's had an artist that I'm not super fond of. But Matteo Buffagni, I'm guessing that's his name.
What was the last name again?
I'm not gonna say it again. It's like Valerio Scheide. Or Skitty. It's very easy to make it sound like you're swearing. But yeah, I'm not super familiar with them, but you know, it's got to be better than Frank Quietly. So.
Wow. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of Frank Quietly. I don't get it. I don't get it with Frank Quietly. I don't understand why his art appeals.
It's a first appearance of a legacy book. I did not know that, Wrath and Sun. Oh, okay. Thanks, Ash.
So, but yeah. But anyway, this is my number one. It has been an entertaining read every 2 weeks when a new issue comes out. I've really been enjoying it. No reason to believe I'm not going like this one's going to be terrible. I don't think that.
Right.
Mark Miller, he's not Tom King. He's not going to write a good story that gets your hopes up and then all of a sudden, boom, terrible storytelling. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I would not mind seeing this made into a Netflix show. He just announced that American Jesus got picked up for Netflix. I was like, really? All the stories that Mark Miller has written, and y'all are going to do American Jesus as a Netflix show.
Can you imagine if they did it on Netflix, but they swap everybody for now? It's more black characters. They would just like, it's already diverse. We got to make it more diverse.
Oh my gosh.
That's what Netflix does.
Oh yeah. I mean, they could easily do Nemesis. They could have like a boys level violent show. And no, they went with American Jesus.
Oh, the other thing I got to quickly talk about is Michelle Rodriguez apparently was caught in by TMZ interview saying that she's sick and tired of seeing people appropriate white characters for their own. So she says, go create your own.
And just like that, Zach became a big Michelle Rodriguez fan again. I was already a semi-big fan.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Lucian for pointing that out in our sports. It's in a Sportswell Twitter group video.
I missed that. That thing has been. I'm behind on that group.
That's because Jay. I just because I blame myself. I showed Jay those my Twitter feed. Look at all those out of context videos. So that's all he's posting in the group now.
Okay, so Matteo, he illustrated the second volume of Prodigy. Which I know that's a Mark Millar book. I haven't read that one.
Oh, you know what would be better? Matteo Scalera doing the art on this.
Scalera would be good. Marco Cicchetto would be a good one, too.
With their Daredevil being done, I wonder where Cicchetto's going.
Mark Miller, he does like to talk about poaching talent.
I'm going to steal that man right there, and then that one next.
He should. Dude, Cicchetto on Ambassadors would be dynamite, I think. But anyway,
Dan Mora, all of them.
Dan Mora's got a Dan Mora.
Scalera's doing the last issue. Sweet.
Oh, nice. There you go. He's got 2 Mateos.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. So I'm gonna count down to my number one because we have a different number one.
Oh, do we? You're not? Are you getting Ambassadors?
Yeah, it's on the pull list. It's just on my number 5.
It just didn't make the top 5. Oh, okay.
No. All right, I had The Expanse number 2 for number 5. Coming in at number 4 is 007 for King and Country. Number 3 was Just Society. Number 4, Green Arrow. Number 2 was my number 2, and my number 1 It's a book we already talked about.
I thought you clicked on Thor.
No, this is my number one book
There's
this week.
no way.
I've just been loving this. If I can't have freaking my Spider-Man comics, being done by Marvel, this is the closest you're gonna get to anything like a Spider-Man comic. It's basically like this. The joy from this, you get this kid who's pretty much like, wants to be a superhero. His friends are now superheroes too. Now it's come to conflict that because the guy who turned out, we find out that he's the villain, or at least we think he's working undercover with this group of vampires that slaughtered a whole family in the middle of their home, left the daughter alive. You see the old granny smiling at her. This is one creepy book, man. I go back to watching like True Blood, and some of that stuff in there too was kind of disturbing. They did. And now it's come to conflict. The guy is basically telling me, because he rescued the main kid, last week or the last issue, because they messed up. He got taken to the hospital, exposed it that he's a vampire, and the guy had to come in and basically like just get him out of there. So of course he's pissed. So now it's going to come down to, I think he's being pressured by it, because we obviously, which we said before, vampires is a hierarchy, and it seems like the old vampire they were carrying in the glass coffin is the elder, and the elder probably wants them to join their ranks now because they're making embarrassment. And now becomes the point, because up to this point they haven't really been feeding on humans at all. Right. They haven't been murdering things.
They've been eating like rats, and
so they're like an abomination to like the purest ones who are evil that feed on humans. You see in this, either they fall in line, or the synopsis, they're gonna go after the families. What do these kids do? They're like 16, 17, if they're even that old. Yeah,
well, they're high school age.
It is to the point where at this point, that's going to be the most nerve-wracking thing to happen, because you got all these powers. So your kid, obviously, you're not as responsible as you are as adults. It's like Billy Batson given power Shazam. Of course he's going to abuse it at first, but man, trying to protect your loved ones, but also things that they probably didn't come into conflict, because they wear a mask. If they didn't have to worry about the sunlight, I don't know if they'd wear a superhero mask at all. But that's one of the things cool. I love he's combining superhero capes, but he's also combining it with vampires, and he's giving a fun story, entertaining every single issue. I'm looking forward to this, man. It looks fun, and it's only $1.99.
$2.
I did hear though that this is only the first volume. They're going to do a second volume.
Nice. I like that. I'm a fan.
But we'll see what happens. Right now with the and also, how is this going to tie into the Millerverse? The big game,
Big game, yeah.
How is it going to tie into this? Because we know that all the other ones tying into it. Same with Ambassadors. If those who read Nemesis, you saw that all the heroes have been wiped out, but the only ones left, or receiving tying in, is maybe it's going to be these heroes here, and maybe a few others, but like Jupiter's Legacy, how is that going to fit in?
Yeah, Jupiter's Legacy. I'm thinking Kick-Ass.
Reborn is basically everything takes in the afterlife. So I mean,
yeah,
what's going to go on, man? Like I said,
I Magic Order, like all these different things he's done. Like, is he gonna like pull a Crisis on Infinite Earths, where like everything gets brought into like one world? Like,
Ash, it isn't officially confirmed, but there's talk of it though. This has been doing well in sales.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Like I said, I really hope that they continue this, making it ongoing.
$2 a piece too. I mean, I'm surprised more people aren't buying this just because of the price.
I think it is the few people who are buying comic books. There's the people who buy books because, oh, cool, I like this character. Mm-hmm. Then there's the people who go out there and look for something more entertaining value. Right. And the problem is that majority of people get into comic books, they only know Marvel and DC.
Right. That's how I was for years before I got into indies.
So by the time they recognize this, this book could be like,
it'll be in trade form already.
Yeah, trade form already, and or it's out of stock. You don't know it's on the shelves. They don't see it out of mine. There's a lot of image books that I come across. Thankfully, we use League of Comic Geeks on here. It shows everything.
Mm-hmm.
I can go through and browse through, and I found a lot of books I didn't know about that existed. I was able to hunt them down. It's kind of cool. So I do recommend that people use the feature on this, the browse on League of Comic Geeks.
Well, also, if you have one of those friends that only reads comics from the big two, like, let them know. Like, there's this awesome superhero book where they're vampires and they're kids, and this is where I'm like, people need to be like comic book missionaries almost, and be like, hey, have you checked out Night Club or Ambassadors?
You have to borrow the Murder Falcon.
Yeah. Oh, Murder Falcon's another one. Definitely.
That will just open their world up. It's the gateway drug, Murder Falcon.
What was my no, my indie gateway drug? Do I even have it? It's somewhere on my shelves over here. But it was an image book. Or Dark Horse. I know Dark Horse for a long time. I just thought of Star Wars.
Dynamite would probably be my first gateway drug. My Dynamite was indie stuff. But I hate calling Dynamite indie because it's not really indie. It's
compared
IP
to Marvel
stuff.
and DC, it is.
Yeah, I guess. But
compared to those.
Anyway, we've talked too much about this. Let's talk about the trades coming out this week.
It's going to be a very short talk. I looked at it earlier. I didn't see anything that appealed to me. So.
All right, G. Wilson's first volume is out. Super Orlando's first volume is out. Kieran Gillen's first volume or second volume is out. We don't care about that. We don't care about the Star Wars.
Nope.
Urban Legends don't care about that either.
Nope.
Blah blah blah. So we'll skip that. Only one I see in here that actually looks good. Actually two on here. We have Compendium, which I will be picking up.
Ooh.
And then we have the Amazing Spider-Man collection, Maximum Carnage. So continue.
Who's the writer on that?
I believe that was Michelin. It might be Tom DeFalco. I'm not sure. Look.
Oh, okay.
Tom DeFalco, J.M. DiMatteis, man. Dave Michelin, Terry Kavanaugh. You have Mark Bagley, Al Savick, Tom Lyle, and Scott McDaniel. And I'm penciling. You also had Ron Lim, who does the cover. He also does penciling stuff. And you had Sal Buscema, doing some inking. Al Milgrom doing inking. Sam De Rosa inking. Like I said, now many are like, well, I don't care for Maximum Carnage and blah, blah, blah. This is still considered the better Spider-Man. Not as great as some of the other stories, but dude, I'm excited for DC Pride. I wanted them to release the Lantern rings for DC Pride. That's what I want.
That's
Hope,
good.
Love, will.
That's funny.
But like I said, that looks pretty cool. And that's 432 pages for $40, and you can get it for half of that over in-stock trades.
Probably.
The compendium, this looks cool. Let me read that real quickly. That is 48 through 96. It also has Invincible Returns and Astounding Wolfman number 11. Hardcover too. That is $100. And man, I definitely worth it. If you've never read Invincible, you are missing out. It's probably one of the best Kirkman stories other than Firepower and Walking Dead.
I liked his Marvel team-up run that he did. I thought that was pretty cool.
The fact that he had Invincible show up in a Spider-Man book.
It's pretty wild.
Spider-Man World, and he beats the crap out of Doc Ock.
I feel like most characters could probably beat up Doc Ock. Like Doc Ock, he's not.
Well,
really
you have
athletic.
a Superman character, and Doc Ock thinks he's going to hit this small kid. I love it. So,
yeah.
I believe his song. Yes, you might like that. That's kind of on the further list for me. It's not as great as the other ones. All right, so that's coming out, and then we also have 20th Century Men. For those who didn't read it, that's a good story. Check that out.
Cool.
Hitomi Image Comics. I want to check that out, and it's only $16 for the first volume. It looks pretty cool.
Shazam and the 7 Magic Lands right there.
Yep. That's a reprint. That's Jeff Johns, Dale Eaglesham.
Jeff Johns and Eaglesham, man. That's a dream team right there.
That is $30. Then we have Peter Parker Mount. I don't care about that. Blood Syndicate, we don't care about either. Bloodborne, not really sure what that is. But it's through Titan, so it might be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the card. Here is a Marvel Masterworks Avengers Volume 23 hardcover.
Very cool.
Then Ava's Demon Book 1 Reborn. That's through Skybound. That's pretty cool. Elvira and Horrorland, which I think isn't that the one that Breen was talking about the other night?
He was talking about an Elvira book. I don't know if it was that particular one.
Oh, really, Breen? Why would you say that?
Really, Ash? That's what I'm saying. He says Oblivion Song is better than Firepower.
Did you see what Mr. Eric Breen said? He said that our team up was. Yeah.
He's probably right. I just liked it a lot.
And that's pretty much about it for this week. Horizon, it looks kind of cool. Dark Horse Art of Horizon 2, but it's a video game, I guess.
Yeah,
art of it.
Yeah.
So then Lost in Taiwan. That sounds like a good movie. Not sure what it is though.
Sounds like The Hangover.
Archie.
Don't they have the one where they get lost in Bangkok or something? It's like this could be like a direct sequel to that.
I don't know. I'd rather watch Made in Taiwan. And about the Hot Wheels. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you guys had fun. We're gonna end it here. If you like Marvel RPG or just watching people just kind of sit around and listen to Dalton, check out I Love Comics. We're gonna go live over there. Do a Marvel RPG game over there. It's my second game. Yay!
That's right. What kind of debauchery?
And Marani is hosting. So
what kind of debauchery are you gonna drag my character through this time?
Dragging. You dragged the freaking the lizard around the whole entire game. You didn't do anything else.
That is true.
Firepower is better than Oblivion. That's it. We've spoken. Good night.